Hi, it's Jen from Sanctuary Tattoo, and I'm just making another little vlog. Today I want to talk about placement. With any tattoo, there is always a sweet spot. There is always a perfect place where if you put the tattoo in this one place, it will be more beautiful, more luscious, more elegant than if you move it even a quarter of an inch to one side or the other, or up or down. There is always a place where a tattoo is going to fit the body best. And that's something that's really important to be taking into consideration when you're getting tattooed, is what the image is going to look like in relation to your body. There are some images that look absolutely fabulous on a piece of paper, on a flat surface, that don't necessarily translate as beautifully onto the body because they're not taking into consideration the way that the body flows, the form of the body, how things move across the body. And so whenever you're getting tattooed, it's a good idea to really be thinking about, how does this enhance me? How does this reinforce my body, my curves, my lines? How does this beautify my body? As opposed to just even, do I like this image? And sort of thinking about putting a sticker on yourself. There's a really big difference between tattoos that flow with your body and tattoos that are just kind of plunked in the middle of something and look like you just put a sticker on you. And so I think it's really important to think about that. And also, in keeping with this, it's also important to think about, as you collect tattoos, to really start thinking about what your long-range goals and plans are with your tattoos, and how are they going to fit on your body as a whole. What do you have any kind of overall theme or vision or sense of what you're doing? So as you collect your first tattoos, or continue to collect your tattoos, you want to be thinking about, how does this support and reinforce my overall vision for what I'm going to be doing? And the sooner you start thinking about this as you collect tattoos, the easier it's going to be to really integrate this into the whole process. Now, in terms of placement for a tattoo, there are so many different reasons why you would choose any particular body part. I mean, you could be choosing it just because you think something is going to be beautiful and adorn a particular body part, or there could be a healing issue or something that has been a chronic problem for you that you want support with a tattoo from. There is long-term evidence that tattoos have been used for protection and healing since people have been doing tattoos. And some of the Siberian, I believe it's the Siberian mummies, were dug up, and they found tattoos on their bodies, and upon further investigation discovered that they were over the sites in the body where there had been indications of chronic pain. And so people have been tattooing on areas where people have been holding pain in their body since tattooing has started. So that's one reason for choosing to place a tattoo in a particular area, is that there has been a wound or some kind of story that that part of the body is carrying that you want to either commemorate, or you want to support or protect, or place a shield of protection or comfort or acknowledgement or closure on. Tattooing is using needles in the skin, as acupuncture is too. So one could surmise that there is a connection between, that way that acupuncture can affect the energy body, and tattoos can also affect the energy body. So I do personally believe that tattoos have an incredible therapeutic benefit, and when chosen and placed carefully and effectively, you can really support that healing process for yourself with particular parts of your body. So that's another thing to be really taking into consideration. So thinking about the way that a tattoo moves across your body, thinking about the way that a tattoo flows across your body, is a really, really useful thing to take into consideration. And just really, taking the time to get the tattoo placed correctly is something that's really important for you and your tattoo artist. And sometimes that means like putting a transfer on, wiping it off, and putting it back on 3 or 4 times. I can tell you there have been a few times where I have spent a good hour in the process of getting the tattoo placed correctly before we committed to a large tattoo that was going to be taking up a large area of the body. Usually with the smaller tattoos, it doesn't take that much time, but when you're talking about something really big, like a full back piece or something, it can really take a while to get things placed exactly. And that's very, very important. I will also make a mention that personally, I'm not a huge fan of armbands. And the reason that I'm not a fan of armbands is because they are an example of something that completely goes against the flow of the body. Now, if you're looking for something that's going to reinforce, the cut of your bicep, certainly an armband can make it look like you got bigger muscles. However, the problem with an armband is that it tends to break up the form of the arm. The arm is a beautiful flowing spiral. It goes and it has sort of this diagonal spiraling flow that goes down from the shoulder all the way to the hand. And when you look at an arm, there's something just so exquisite about the way that it kind of swirls and wraps and moves down. When you put an armband on an arm, what happens is that natural flow to the arm is cut off, and you tend to see the arm not as a long, whole, flowing piece of the body or element of the body, but you tend to see it in chunks, and it tends to break it into sections. As a result, instead of elongating the arm, it tends to delongate the arm. And so what could look very beautiful and flowing, I think tends to look a lot chunkier and clunkier. So that's something I think it's really important to take into consideration, is whether your idea is going to flatter the form of your body or whether it's actually going to detract from the form of your body. And so if you have a tattoo artist and they say to you, that's really not going to be that flattering for you, please take them into consideration. Most tattoo artists have been tattooing for a good while, and most tattoo artists who are professional and know what they're doing have experienced and have been around thousands and thousands of tattoos. And so as a result, they have seen what works and what does not work. And so when it comes to placement, I think it's really important to think about, how does this flow? How does this move? How does this enhance the beauty of your body? So that's pretty much what I have to say about flow and form and how tattoos move across your body. Thinking about your body as an overall form and thinking about how the tattoos really support and enhance and adorn your body is what I just want you to take away from this. So I hope you have an absolutely fabulous week, and I will catch you later some other time. Okay.